studied half of them with the 7th grade. So you just, if you're not sure, even after the lesson, go listen. Right? Go listen to it. All right? So for questions 1 through 6, all right, you're seeing whether or not this negative 3, 1 is a solution to that equation or to that system. Now, what the system means is that just means there are 2 equations. Sometimes when you get to algebra 2, there will be 3 equations. You're a little bit more advanced in math, there might be 5 equations and 5 unknowns. And you have to figure out what goes where. But for us, we're starting out strictly with the basics. Is negative 3, 1 a solution? All you have to do is plug in negative 3, 1 in for x and y and see if that's a true statement. All right? So here we go. Everybody should be able to easily do this. So we would say negative 3, 1. So in this case right here, it would be negative 3 plus 1. Does that equal negative 2? So far we are yes. So far we're yes. Now on the next one, 2 times negative 3 minus 2 times 1. Does that equal negative 8? Well, negative 6 minus 2 equals negative 8. So you have to check for both. You have to check for both. All right, so is that a solution? The answer is yes. Now, again, I've tried to say this from the beginning. This is the first section. If you're not sure how I did problem number 1, you just put your hand up. No excuses. All right? Now, we're going to try number 4. Just going to go right down the page. So let's see if this works. 2 times negative 5 plus 2 times 6. Does that equal 2?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. All right, any questions? Now I'm going to put it in for the second equation. Negative 5 minus 2 times 6. Does that equal negative 17?
Yes.
Yes. So that is a solution. All right? Let me see if I can find one that doesn't work. Let's try number 5. Let's see what happens. All right, let's check the first one. So it'd be what? 2 times 2 plus negative 4. Does that equal 0?
Yes.
Yes. Everybody with me on this? I'm happy. The next one, it would be what? Negative 2 plus 2 times negative 4. Does that equal 10? No. Come on, guys. You see what I'm saying? That's really simple. That's really simple. All you're doing is you're plugging in the x and y for x and y. If it's true for both equations, then it's true altogether. Good. Let's go. Come on now. You're a little bit behind. Yes.
So it only has to be correct for one.
No, it has to be. Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry. Yes. So listen. She is 100% correct when she said it has to be true for what? Both of them, or it's automatically no. All right. As soon as it's not true, you don't even have to do the other equation. All right. Does everybody agree? Simple. All right. Very, very simple. All right. So now, what I want to do is I want to look at questions 7, 8, and 9 now. All right. Remember, you can grab mine again. You were using it before. All right. You got to get on yours. You got to find it. Where did you find yours at?
Oh, it's in the science lab.
Okay, so you just is yours at home? Maybe.
Mine, and he said it's in this room or the school room.
All right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. That's all right. That's all right. Listen, he's working. He's fixing his problem. All right, so leave him alone. All right. Now, listen. It says for the directions, find the solution of each of the following systems of equations. So the solution is the point of intersection. All right. So for question number 7, all right, kind of a silly question because we can't say exactly what it is. So I just want you to circle. That point would be the solution. All right. Now, why is that kind of a bad question?
Because it's like in the
Yeah, we don't know. There's no way of knowing exactly. That's why, unless you use a graphing calculator, it's really not as effective. All right, it's really not as effective. Did anybody see that? The solution is the point of intersection. All right, the solution is the point of intersection. So, number 8, what are those lines called? So, what is the solution? There is no solution. That is exactly correct. So, this right here, we would say, has no solution.
I don't understand how to repeat the solution.
Show me where they intersect.
Oh,
The lines, yes. All right. Is everybody happy with that now? Drew, you ready? You getting charged up? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm charging it.
All right. So again, now you got to just listen carefully. All right. Is there a point of intersection on question 8? No, there is no point of intersection, so there wouldn't be a solution. All right. Now, if you look at number 9, I try to demonstrate how many points of intersection are there here. There are an infinite number of solutions. All right? Because it goes through every single point. So listen to me on this. Actually, there are 2 lines there. All right? There are 2 lines. There's one, and then I tried to highlight the one above it. Right? So it's the same exact line. When you graph the same exact line, you get an infinite number of solutions. Now, not every ordered pair is a solution. Listen, because some of the kids make a mistake on this. All right? Is this right here a solution? Is this a solution? Is this a solution? Is this a solution? No. All right, so it's not that all numbers are the answer. It's just there is a what? Infinite number of solutions because there are an infinite number of points on that line. Is everybody hearing me? Right? It's very simple. Very, very simple. So you have 3 choices. Your 3 choices when you have a system of equations is 1 point, there can be no points, or there could be what? Infinite. Now, to describe them, this right here, all you have to know is that they are what? Parallel lines. Parallel lines will have no solution. Over here, are these lines, do they have the same slope? Yes, but they also have the same y-intercept. So they are the what? Same line. So when you have, or when you graph the same line, we say that there are an infinite number of solutions. Everybody with me? All right, notice I didn't say all the answers. I said there's an infinite number of solutions. Quick.
So you were saying that you highlighted the other lines, so there were 2 lines?
No, I didn't say that. Here's what I said. All right, on this problem right here, all right, there is the black line, and then there is the bluish-green line. All right, there's a black line that I graph first, and then I graph the same exact line, but I used a different color. So I could demonstrate to you that I was simply graphing the same line, so there's an infinite number of points of intersection.
Okay, thank you.
All right, easy as that. I'm listening. Good, whoever said that. Let's talk about number 10. 10 would be what? Good. Infinite number of solutions. And if you want to, because you're so smart, 11 would be what? No solution. And 12, this would be the solution. And that would simply, if you wanted to write it out, you would say what? 2, 2. Thank you very much, Connor. Feels good paying attention. All right, no one answers. All right, continue on that. Grades will change. All right, Math is not hard. You're not born with a gene. All right? It's easy. Pay attention. Come on.
Do we have to write it out?
They're going to ask you, all right? The reason why I didn't write it out over here for number 7 is why. There's no way to tell. It's absolutely no way to tell because we don't have either equation, right? And so we just need to know that that's the solution. All right, now we're getting into the important stuff right here. All right, so we're going to try 13. All right, now for question 13, all right, we're going to graph. All right, but in order to graph, it's got to be put in the right format first, correct? So we would say for number 13, y equals what? X plus 1. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm not even mad. If you don't know why that's y equals x plus 1, you ask, and I will tell you. All I did was I took this negative x, and I moved it over to the other side. And when I move negative x to the other side, it becomes what? Now you have to know that from now on. When you move an x, you change the sign. Right? Now we're going to graph that. So somebody tell me how to graph y equals x plus 1. I'm listening. Up 1. And then what? Up 1 and over 1. Now what I'm doing right now is just so I can line this thing up. I just like to make a couple extra dots. Right? And everybody should be doing that. It should line up perfectly. Now, if you don't know, speak up. You good?
Yeah, I get that. I still like my thing is like I forget that there's a like invisible bar in front of the x.
That's exactly right. That's why you're practicing. That's why you make yourself a note. Go.
I know that you get like the second number, you go up one, and then you make the fraction. But what did you do here?
So this right here, the slope is 1 over 1. So that means delta y, you go up 1, delta x, you go to the right 1. So from the y-intercept, which is 1, from the y-intercept, which is 1, I went what?
Oh, up 1 over.
Up 1, and then I went over 1, right? And I just kept going up 1 over 1. Demo, you good with everything? All right, so now I'm going to look at the other one. All right, Jack. So what do I have to do with the x? Okay. Okay, so now listen to me, Jack. What did I do for this x right here? I moved it over. All right, so what am I going to move on this one? And so when I move it, it becomes what, Jack? There you go, buddy. So y equals negative x, and it's not bad to say plus 0, but we don't need the plus 0. All right? So it's just y equals negative x. So what is the y-intercept? 0. So in other words, we would say 0, 0. So you plot 0, 0. Well, we're going to find out here in a minute. We plot 0, 0. And then we go what? Down 1 and over 1. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 1. Does everybody see that? Right? And then I'm just going in the other direction. All right, now I'm going to make this line. Now, unfortunately, on some of these, you're just going to have to estimate. All right? What does that look like? What does that answer look like? Yes. Yep, and? That's exactly right. So we're going to say x equals negative 1/2, comma, 1/2. Now that's strictly a guess because we can't really know. That might be 0.51, right? So we don't really know exactly. All right, Connor, what?
So you start at 0.
Right, and then I went.
Because there's the 0.
Right.
And where do you get the 1?
Well, from the slope right here, buddy.
You put it into a fraction.
Yeah, so this was negative 1. You with me?
Oh, yeah. And you put a 1 over it.
So negative 1 over 1. Good for you. Come on.
So I gave him find the negative 1/2, but
Because I went up. I'm looking right here. This point, let me make it clear. This is the point of intersection, that purple dot, right? So to me, it looks like -1/2, 1/2. You with me? Because I went up
Oh, you went over one.
here and here. Right. That's okay. It's all right. As long as you know, ask until you know. What?
I don't understand it. The -1/2.
This point right here, buddy. Do you know how to plot a point? So what is this point? -1/2 up 1/2. Does that make sense? Now I understand your confusion because it might be -0.55, 4.5, or 0.45. You see what I'm saying? So we're just taking a guess at it. Is everybody with me on that? I tried to make some that were kind of obvious. All right. So now let's look at this answer. Let's just see if this answer is correct. All right. So in order for it to be correct, we just have to plug it in. So again, I'm just checking. I'm not asking you to check because obviously we're going to be right. But in this case, it would be -1/2 plus 1/2. Does that equal 1? Yes, because the two negatives make positive. 1/2 plus 1/2 is what? 1. And then -1/2 plus 1/2 is that 0. So we got the right answer. That's how easy. I don't care if you put decimals or fractions. It doesn't matter. Quickly, good. All I did, because you were not here earlier, because you were getting your iPad, is all I did was now I plugged those answers into this equation. You see what I'm saying? So it would be -1/2 plus 1/2. That does in fact equal 1. You with me?
Yeah, why is there another?
Because there's a negative right here, buddy.
Oh.
Those are good. Fixes. Now it's got to get into your brain, right? That's what I'm saying. You make your corrections. Now let's not make the same mistake 10 more times. See what I'm saying, right? So now let's look at x plus y. Do you agree? -1/2 plus 1/2 is 0. Is there any questions with what I just did? Am I requiring you to plug the numbers in? No, I was just trying to show you. All right. Is there another solution? The answer is what? No. Because you only have 3 options. There's either one solution, no solution, or infinite number of solutions. All right. If you find a solution, lines can only intersect in one point. All right. That's what we're looking for, that point. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 15 now. All right, come on, Jack. Now be careful.
Provided y is equal to -x plus 2.
You were close on that. All right, so let's look. I'm throwing the 2x over, and it becomes what, Jack? I'm doing, by the way, 15. Are you on 15?
Oh, no.
All right, so everybody take a look at 15.
Whoops, my bad.
So I throw the 2x over, it becomes what?
Negative.
-2x. So now you're going to say 2y is equal to -2x plus 6. Anybody have any questions with that? Now I have to divide everything through by 2. When I divide everything through by 2, I get y equals -x plus 3. Any questions with that? Bless you. You good with that or not? All right. Now let's look at the next one. I have to throw over a what? The -3x it becomes. So now it's going to be -3y is equal to 3x plus 6. Now I'm going to have to do what? Divide by -3. Divide by -3, divide by -3, divide by -3, which I heard somebody say, yep, you changed the sign. All right? So from there, I get what? Y equals -x minus 2. What is 6 divided by -3? Right? Good or not? That's all there is to it, honestly. And that's what I'm trying to show you. Speak up now before it gets harder. All right, go. Good for you, Marcus.
Why did you change
Because when you divide by a negative, you change signs. You hear me? Now, if you're not sure about that, Marcus, you would just say, look up. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. 3 divided by negative 3, negative 1. Positive 6 divided by negative 3, negative 2. Yes, sir. Good.
So for the bottom one, when it was like negative 3y equals 3x, why would it be equals? Why wouldn't it be negative 3y minus 3x?
Because listen to me again. Look up on the board. Right. I'm taking the 3x and I'm moving it to the other side of the equal sign. Past the equal sign. I'm moving it on the other side of the equal sign. You move it on the.
Every time you move it on the other side of the equal sign.
Wow. I mean it. That is correct. All right. Yes. Do you have a question, Drew?
No.
Okay. So now we're going to graph those lines. All right. Now, how do I know right off the bat there's no solution here? Because they're parallel. How do I know they're parallel? Because the slopes are what? The slopes are the same. If the slopes are the same, they're automatically parallel. The only condition is what? That you have to have different y-intercepts. Hear what I just said. You have to have different y-intercepts. Everybody with me on this? All right. So here we go. All right. I'm going to graph just to make sure. The first one I have to go what? Up 3. Everybody should be saying what I'm doing. I'm going what? From there. That's it. And then continue that pattern so you can draw a nice line. If you don't know what I'm saying or you don't know what I'm doing, now's the time to ask. You with me, Connor?
Yeah.
I mean it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going up 3, plot a point, then down 1 over 1. I'm just going to go down 1 over 1 until I get a nice little graph. Now the next one, I go what? Down 2, down 1 over 1. And what looks to be true? They're parallel. So how many solutions do we have? There is no solution. They do not intersect. Therefore, there is not a solution. All right? So let's find something like 16. Let's do 16. All right? Now, again, please, those of you guys who haven't had great grades, all right, for those of you guys who have good grades, let's defer to the people who are not doing as well. All right, I want them to answer the questions. All right, you can change your grade from average to above average easily. Get involved. All right? So, Hayes, what am I doing for this one? And it becomes? Right. So you write down negative 2y equals negative x plus 4. You agree with that? Now what? Exactly. And that becomes? Well, let me just go ahead and do this because I want everybody, some of you still haven't gotten there yet. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. That's what you should be saying. All right, so now simplify that to y equals 1/2 x minus 2. You agree with that?
You divide x by negative 2,
well,
and since it's 1x, it's just...
Yes, very good. So see, that's an understood 1 there. Right, so whenever you're having trouble, just put a 1 in front of the x. It helps you. All right? Now, Reagan, what about the next one?
You would have to move the 4x.
Right, so that becomes,
2y equals negative 4x plus 6.
and now what?
You have to divide by 2.
Correct.
and it would be y equals negative 2x plus 3.
That's how simple. Maxine. Maxine. Did we do 15? Come on, girl. What's the matter? Because I graphed them and they're parallel lines. Do you see the two equations? All right, good. All right, back to here now. All right, so now we're graphing these two equations. Now, are these lines parallel? No, so there has to be a solution. All right, Connor, so how am I going to graph y equals 1 half x minus 2?
Alright, so you go up 2.
Y up. Shh.
Because it's plus 2.
Where?
Oh, wait, it's minus 2? Oh, sorry, then go down 2.
But I don't know. If you have plus 2 on yours, let's figure out why it's minus 2 is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's what I had minus 2 in the beginning.
Shh.
But then I looked at it and it was like plus, like on the board.
No, listen, you're making a mistake. I don't care about anything except whether or not you understand why it's minus 2.
No, I understand why it's minus 2 because there's a negative in the root.
Okay. Or a positive divided by a negative is a negative.
Oh.
So it's 4.
4 divided by negative 2.
Exactly.
Alright,
So now, how do I graph this?
so you go down 2,
Down 2
and you go up 1,
and
to the right 2.
exactly. So I'm going to go up 1 over 2 a couple times just so I can make sure I get the points accurately. All right, so now I need negative 2x plus 3. Katie, how do I do that? Right, I'm graphing this right here. Hey, you don't need to interrupt me. What am I doing, Katie? Up 3. Perfect. So I'm going to go up 3, plot a point. Now what, girl? Very good. Thank you. Down 2 to the right 1. And I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1. And did I figure out what the answer was?
Yes.
Because it intersected, right? So the answer would be what? 2 comma negative 1. Yes.
So for the one where it's 1 half x,
Right.
but when you went down 2 and then up 1 and then to the right 1.
No, I did not. I went to the right. How many guys?
I mean 2.
2, right.
But it says it's negative 2, so I would be good.
Because your y-intercept is always up or down.
No, for the 2 and the 1 half, it says it's negative. So why would you go to the left?
This right here,
No, the other side. The negative 2 is under the
it's not negative. There you go. There you found your mistake. 2 negatives make a what? You see what I'm saying on that or not? Right? Again, that's what we're talking about. Some of you just need to make your corrections on your mistakes. Right? And don't just accept what I'm saying. That's why I don't mind Maxine asking me a question. I don't mind Reagan asking me a question because I'm trying to find your mistakes. That's what we're talking about. Correct your mistakes. Don't just do the problems. What?
See how you get the 2, but I don't see how you get the negative 1.
On this right here? So again, Jack, honestly, don't be mad at me. That's just, do you know how to plot a point? So look right here. You agree that's the point, right? So I went to the right, 1, 2, and I went down 1. 2, negative 1. Jack, but I listen to me, Jack. I don't want you saying that's the answer because I just said the answer was 2, negative 1. I'm asking you, did you go to the right 2? And then I went what? which makes it. That's where the answer is. You said you didn't know why it was -1. Is that us? Okay, listen, guys. Hold up for a quick second. Tomorrow, we got to do the same thing. All right? So, listen. What I want to do now is try to do through 18. Try to do through 18. And then tomorrow, we'll teach you how to use your graphing calculator. Come prepared with your graphing calculator tomorrow.